Hi, hello everybody. It's Allotment Flower Garden. An heads up, we said we were going to do another sort of video posting until tulips and wallflowers and whatnot were in flower, but what's happened is I ordered some plants, well, nursery ordered some plants which were coming on week 10, some fuchsia whips, and they've come early on week 8, so I thought, well, we've got them. Well, I'll show you how to go on with them. A plant that's really close to my heart in a way is the old fuchsias. But just before we do that, they're ranunculus, what I set off in trays down. Got them potted up this week, they're coming on. So I just thought I'd show you all where we're at with them. If you remember them little corms, what we did in the trays.
They've come on really well, them, haven't they?
Yeah. And this is one of the other greenhouses. This was original greenhouse, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot bigger, this one.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It takes more to eat it.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Right, we'll nip back to the other one and have a look at the fuchsias, Dan.
Yeah.
Yep. So here we are then, we're back in this greenhouse now and have a look at fuchsias. Plants I have a lot of history with these, Dan, fuchsias.
Yeah.
Roughly on and off about 35 years I've grown these in some form or other. The very first plant I ever showed as well at Rotherham in about 84, 85. I come second in variegated leaf section.
Really?
So I think like 70s and 80s is when fuchsias, these were really in their heyday then.
Yeah.
I know there were two people I know of in Rotherham who made a living just growing fuchsias. And the old horticultural paper at Gardening News, back before internet and that, used to be full of mail order.
Yeah.
For like fuchsias and pelargoniums. Yeah, so. But they're not as fashionable now, which is a pity, but that seems to happen in gardening. You get trends with plants and fashions, but they're still well worth growing. The way I want to grow these is, we've bought these in. I'll say why I bought them in a second. They're what they call whips. So I want to grow these on as a standard, which I'll take you through, and you can all do it at home. It's really a simple process. Basically, all it means is these plants haven't been stopped, so you're growing them on one stem, Dan.
Yeah.
Yep. So you do not take the tops out. Yeah, if you want to grow standard, if you take tops out, you can't do it. You've got to leave them as a single plant. Yeah. For filming purposes, I wanted to jump gun a bit so I can take you through how we train them and pot them on and look after them. So I thought sooner than starting from cuttings, which we've shown plenty of times how to start and take a cutting. If anybody hasn't watched this before, if they go back to some of those previous episodes, either on Flower Garden or on Peas in a Pod, there's loads on there on how to take cuttings. So you can do this at home. If you get yourself a fuchsia, or if you can get hold of a whip, take a cutting off, root it, do not take the tip out, and you'll be able to do this. They'll be a little bit behind these, but they'll still make a standard or an half standard. Yeah. One tip on that, what to look for when you do take a cutting for a standard. Like these, because, you know, I didn't get to choose them, I didn't take the cuttings. They've all got 2 leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you'll see an odd fuchsia what will throw a 3rd leaf out, and it'll be 3 leaves instead of 2.
Right.
They always make good standards. They're always that bit stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do with, I've already potted 4 up. We've got 2 Paula Jane. Yep. 2 Spy on Cop. Yep. And these 2 are aptly Garden News. Yeah. Now, when I'm selecting a standard, the things to look for really is a good strong plant as well. What I do avoid is the big double flowering fuchsias, because I find with them, when you get them to the bigger, you know, these will end up in quite a 30-40 litre pot or something like that come June. When they flower, they get really top heavy, the doubles. So I prefer to have a standard that has the single flowers, but you get a mass of. So, you know, just a tip anyway. Right, so that size pot, they're hungry plants. So I'm going straight into a 2 litre, yeah?
Yeah.
I need to grow these, because you're trying to achieve that height. I mean, I'm hoping to get these to about 3 foot before I actually stop them to form the crown of the plant. Like I said, I'm hoping to get these to about 2 or 3 foot, well, 3 foot, between now and June. because the 1st of June is when they'll go outside after the frosts have passed. So I need to grow them quite aggressively. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean I need to get them in good rich compost. Clover gold would be ideal. This is clover potting and bedding. And I need to feed them quite regular. What will I feed them on? Right, what I want to feed them on, to achieve that height, I want growth and I want that thickness on the stem. Feeding's one way I can get the thickness on the stem. These other ways, which I'll mention in a minute. So I want a feed that's quite high in nitrogen and phosphate and low in potassium. So they'll go on a feed like that. Perhaps Miracle Grow, something along them lines. They'll go on a feed like that until I've got them, which will be like June time, to flowering stage.
Yeah.
Then I'll switch it to an high potassium feed, tomerite, tomato feed.
Yeah.
Because that is for the flowers. Yep. So I'm put the compost in round the pot, so I know that the planting hole's the right depth and the right proportion, so they're not going to be sat in fresh air. Straight away the roots are in contact with the compost. What I did notice with the 4 I potted up with, they were just slightly starting to get a bit spirally, a bit pot bound. So it's just very gently, just help them out, tease some of them roots out. That's him. In he goes. Remember, good water. Excuse me. Right. So what we're going to do now, like I said, we'll take you through this because they are really nice and worth growing. And I suppose also I've got to mention with these, I didn't grow any last year. The year before I grew them. And at the size and in the big pots in the summer, to go and buy one, I'd imagine your standard nursery, you're probably talking £25. Some of your more upmarket nurseries, you'll be going towards £50. At this size, they're £3. So it's worth doing if you can lay your hands on some. Yeah. So what we'll do is you put a cane in, obviously, because what you're doing with this, to put it into perspective, you're growing this like you would a tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the difference with this and a tomato is, to start with, you know, a tomato, you get your side shoots, we pinch them out.
Yeah.
Well, a lot make that mistake with growing a standard. You don't want to do that because that is helping get that thickness in your stem.
Right.
So what you do is, which I will show, is you take it back to 2 leaves all the time. So you'd let your side shoot grow to 4 leaves, take it back to 2. So you've still got some of that, that growth on, and that'll help your stem build up. Yep. Interesting fact with these, Dan, do you know the weed, rose bay willow herb? You see it growing outside the train tracks a lot. Tallish weed, pink flowers. That's what fuchsias originate from.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. What Victorians, you know, the old plant hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought these in, named after a German, Fuchs. That's where the name comes from. So we'll bob this one in. But yeah, get some feed in these. Oh, another little thing while I'm talking about feed. Like I say, I am pushing them a bit. One thing fuchsias will show you as well, if you're feeding too heavy, they'll let you know. You know how we talk about plants being fertiliser sick?
Yeah.
Fuchsias show you, and what happens is, if you've overfed them, you'll start seeing like white dusting, like talcum powder.
Right, okay.
Yep. And it's actually sick. It's like guttation. If you get that, stop feeding. Just go to water for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just two lots of watering with no feeding, and it'll just wash it through. It's a build-up of salts, and that will disappear. These will get that. I've no doubt about it. Yeah. And I'll show you, because I am pushing them, you know. And like I said, the reason why is I want to get them to that height. I'll just get a bit more compost. Let me turn you back on audience down. Perhaps just have a look at this little beauty, Dan, while I'm just potting this one up. The plant I picked up this week, that's Again, selecting plants like I did with that one. There were a batch of them at the nursery. I think there were about 50 or 60 of them. And this were head and shoulders above them, this Agapanthus.
Yeah.
So again, when you're buying plants, have a look for the strongest growing plant. Yep. That's Agapanthus Queen Mother. I've no idea what colour flower it is or anything like that, but I bought it on a whim.
Seen it, and it's like, I'm having it.
It just looked that stronger plant. I thought, I need to take that home. So I did. Again, this one's not as far on with roots as that one where that'll still just help him out. So really, it's that simple, Dan. If you've got a variety that you like and you want to grow it as a standard, buy a whip, get some cuttings off now, follow us along with it. I'll come back to them probably every month or something like that, or maybe twice a month, depending on how quick they start growing and when they need some pruning doing to them. Follow along. So yeah, we'll be back when the tulips are in flower.
Hopefully.
Hope you got something out of that anyway, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.